Welcome back to our employee survey series. The final session, at least for the moment, I may come up with others, but at least for now, is a discussion around what do you do with the data once you have it? How do you analyze it? How do you report it out? So let me share some best practices with you. I mentioned in one or more of the earlier sessions the importance of ensuring that your survey results represent a sample set of at least 7 participants. If not, you'll need to determine how you combine that with other groups. But start by ensuring that your data is valid in the sense that you have a sample size significant enough to where you can have confidence in the survey results. Then there's a discussion around how you graphically represent the results. And if you're using a third party, they'll have best practice ideas because the value of effective graphical representation is that you get this snapshot, this dashboard of results in many different forms, either by location or theme or different demographic groups that can help you in a snapshot of a moment determine the extent to which things are going well and there's areas to focus on. That graphical distinction, depending on the survey item, gives you a great starting point in the outcome of the survey. And of course, cross your fingers that you have a large response rate. Preferably, let's say you're doing this for 500 employees. It's ideal that you get a 60% or higher response rate. And the smaller the organization, the more critical you need to have a larger response rate to ensure fair and accurate representation. There's this notion that the larger the organization, then the lower the response rate because it will still be representative. I think, as a general rule, you want to be over 60%, no matter what. I had a client company a while back. They made a commitment to provide, I can't remember the number, it doesn't matter, but several $1,000s they were going to um, actually provide to a nonprofit of an organization's choosing. And so they were going to do, in fact, what they did, I remember this now, it was very clever. They pulled the employees together to discuss the results of the outcome. They said, hey, we achieved 95% response rate. As a result, we have a number of different nonprofit organizations that we're committed to in the community as an organization, as a company. And several of you have reinforced this. So we'd like to have a volunteer to come up and choose whichever nonprofit comes out of the fishbowl. And so they announced that, let's say it was 10,000, it could have been around that amount. So this particular nonprofit will be receiving $10,000 as a contribution from our company in all of your names. And that usually got a nice bit of goodwill right there by the company having done that. So best practice tip for your taking. I was talking about how to represent the data in terms of graphical representation. You can get caught up in so many different forms of graphical representation. You can lose the primary messaging. So start high first. What does the data ultimately tell you? As I said at the outset of this series, the loudest voice is not the representative voice. So what themes have emerged from your data? And those themes will likely bubble up 2 to 3 top issues, we'll call them 2 to 3 key things that came out of it that warrant action for the organization. 2 to 3 things you should commit to as a company. So, best practice here, determine which executive is the best match to those 2 to 3 themes that emerge from the survey, and then have those executives serve as sponsors to take on a ongoing programmatic effort to address the key items that surfaced, let's say there were statements in open text that spoke to these and actually had ideas associated with it. But each executive that's identified will be the sponsor for a given issue, and they will report out at every all hands meeting progress that's being made to address the theme they're responsible for. And what this tells employees, you've been heard. We're acting upon the concerns that were raised. Here's what those actions look like. We're involving you in the process, so you are co-architects in the solution. Those are best practices. Now, you may find that once you get your results, you may want to learn more about the why. In other words, the survey often tells you the what, it doesn't tell you the why. So another best practice is uh, organize your results, determine the key themes, and then conduct focus groups, randomly selected groups of employees who are invited in for a focus group. And you can have your survey vendor facilitate these focus groups. And in those sessions, you can say, employees, thanks for your participation. Here's what we learned. Show an abbreviated summary of the survey outcomes, and then say, these are the top 2 to 3 issues that were raised. In the hour that we have, we want to spend 20 minutes on each and get your best ideas, So now they become problem solvers on why these emerged and what we should do. And now you have the richness of employee feedback in an actionable form, and employees feel that much more invested in the follow up to the survey items. They feel like they're taking ownership right along with the leadership group. Okay, there's a quick snapshot of how to take your data, put it in an analytical form, and then engage employees for your follow-up work and hold your top leadership accountable for the actions to follow. I hope you found this series helpful. There may be a reason for me to come back to you with some more best practice data, but you can reach out to me at any time, david@austinworknet.com. You can find me on austinworknet.com as well as LinkedIn. Thank you.